Hey everyone, this is Jack with Freedom Homestead, and on this video we've been talking so much lately about kind of rebuilding our house and getting back into our house and trying to get everything fixed that we have totally not been able to do anything this summer with any gardening, which again, that's just another thing that was so devastating. Our garden here, I've mowed it, but it's still grown up. It has to be completely cleaned out. But what's even worse is our raised beds. If you look at these raised beds over here, I mean, look at this. There's weeds that are higher than me. And yeah, that's not just a field that needs bush hogging. Those are raised beds. So on this video, it's time for me to move from the house to the yard and start trying to clean up a lot of this. And I'm gonna try to do as much as I can today, just cleaning this out. We also noticed that most of the wood that was used, we used old reclaimed wood that we found laying around to build these raised beds. And I was checking on them and they're pretty much rotted to pieces now. So it's kind of a good thing that we can just clean all this out, even tear out the old wood. We're gonna try to save the raised bed that has the strawberries in it. That one still looks great. The strawberries are doing fine, but everything else, we're gonna try to just clean it all out and eventually put in new beds. If you look back here, in the back of the garden back here, that's what's left of our back deck. And if anything, I have tons of wood to use from that deck to make more raised beds. So I may use some of that wood and repurpose it. We also have a lot of beams, like 4x4s and 4x6s that we had used several months ago, actually holding up our house over here. And you can tell it's not finished, it's not fixed. We still have another project to add on back here. But you can see it's setting on the ground. It's setting on a foundation. The basement under it's been totally rebuilt. So I may use those beams to build some raised beds, or I may use the beams to eventually put up some sort of greenhouse or hoop house or low tunnel, something like that. So that's the plan anyway, because I eventually want some sort of greenhouse type structure out here as well. So we may wait and use the beams on that and see what we can do with all this old wood from the back deck. I may have to take all these pallets up. I loved building this. It was beautiful around the garden, but all the red clay mud that was excavated repairing our house, every time it rained, it all drained right into this garden area. So now it's got a lot of red clay mud. So a lot of work's gonna have to be done with the soil. I'm working on that as we speak. Actually, I'm not working on it. I don't know if you can see, but our chickens are in there right now, and our chickens are working on it. So they're doing their part. It's time for me to get out here and start working and doing my part. Just gonna show you real quick, when you go 4, almost 5 months without doing anything to raised beds, I don't even know what this stuff is called, but it's higher than I am, and our cattle panel here is growing stuff, but you can't even walk through the garden here. It's just weeds everywhere. So, and look over there. Those are all weeds. It's time to clean it all up.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tater bug, eating my potatoes. Tater bug, all my tomatoes. Tater bug, what makes you so hungry? Tater bug, you eating all my money. What makes your garden grow? Water and sunshine.
Okay, I'm taking a break. I don't know what kind of weeds those are, but I'm breaking out all over my arms and just kind of itching all over and kind of miserable. All right, so I've been cleaning out these raised beds. You can see the piles of stuff I've been taking out of them. Over here, I have one more to clean out right there. I mean, I'm not done with these, but at least I'm getting all the weeds that are over a couple of feet high. Now this one right here, you just see weeds. I want to show you what I was talking about. This is the wood. This is what's left of the bed. And you can see how the wood is just, it's rotten. It is completely rotted. You know, if you do make a raised bed, definitely use, let's see if I can pull this out. These coated screws are not supposed to rust. And look at that. Not one bit of rust on it. It outlasted the wood. So definitely, and I guess I could take these screws out and save them and reuse these screws. But this is what's left actually of that raised bed right here on the end. I can show you just, this is where the board was and just pieces of it now. It just fell apart. And I'm pretty sure that this board, this one right here is going to be the same way. You can see how it's all rotted. So this one, it feels sturdy, but I think that's just the weeds holding it together. So I'm going to be taking this one up as well. So I know different people use different materials for their raised beds. Most people that want to make sure that it's done without any chemicals and organically as possible, they don't want to use treated wood. I don't think this wood was treated. If it was, it had been done decades and decades ago. This is actually old wood that was repurposed many years ago. So it wasn't the best wood to begin with, but it's what I had available. I do highly recommend using the screws that won't rust. If you are going to use good new wood, make sure you use screws that's going to last as long as the wood will, if not a lot longer. Also, obviously, we didn't do anything this summer and we neglected it and it just grew up. So that's why we're having to redo all of this. But really I would say at least every 4 or 5 years, you may have to replace a board here and there. You're definitely every 3 to 5 years, you're wanting to totally recondition the soil, if not every other year. You don't want to grow the exact same crops in the same bed year after year after year. Some people, even in their raised beds, might put a cover crop in the off season on there to recondition the nutrients in the soil. So you definitely want to treat it just like any other regular garden, with conditioning the soil, replenishing the nutrients. You could even do soil tests if you want to, but the great thing about raised beds is it's such a control of the soil, and you can control it a lot better if you have bad topsoil, if you have a lot of bedrock in your area, if you have red clay dirt, which we have a lot of around here. So if your soil is not rich enough, you can always do raised beds. Control your own soil, mix it up with other nutrients and additives as needed, and you can do it naturally, organically, and not have to worry about what you're putting into your food that you're putting into your body. So I'm going to finish this last one and probably going to go get the lawnmower and run through here, and then hopefully when Tangy gets home, she's running errands today, when she gets home, she'll see that, hey, progress has been done out here in the garden. And I think every little step towards getting back to normal here is kind of a weight off our shoulders, and just a little bit of the stress is taken away.
Well, hello everybody. I have emerged from my office. All the work that he's doing out here looks really good. And yeah, it kind of makes me sad in one way, but also gets me excited in another way, because I know that we're growing back even better than what we had before. So we were actually just talking about the cattle panels, our plans for building a greenhouse. I think we're probably gonna have to purchase about 5 or so cattle panels. We're gonna do I guess like a Stiver style hoop house is kind of what we've been talking about. We've also been talking about taking down the beautiful garden fence that Jackie built out of pallets. And yeah, we're starting fresh, and I'm excited. I've got a lot of plans. Can't wait to bring you guys along. We are going to grow even more food than we have in years past. Just really gonna buckle down and work even harder on being more self-sufficient, trying to stay out of the store, not rely on the trucks and the warehouses and you know, the supply chain. So I'm excited and nervous, but mostly excited. Because we know that a lot of you, whether you've been here for a while or you're brand new, because of everything that's been happening in our nation, a lot of you are looking for instruction. And so we want to be more intentional and share with you what our experiences have been and what information that we have just in the last, I guess, 8 or 9 years that we've been gardening. So definitely be looking for that. And if you have any questions, if you have any ideas for videos, things that you would like to see from us, we want to hear it, because our goal, our mission is to help you stock your pantry and do it well and on a budget. So just let us know what you want to see.
All right, it's time to show the aftermath. Here is all the rotten wood, and look at this. Yeah, that was probably needing to be replaced anyway. So really no loss there, because that's just stuff that we needed to redo next season anyway. But as I turn around, remember all those huge grown up beds with weeds 6 feet over my head? Look at it now. Look at it now. We've got the strawberry bed that we saved. I don't know if you can hear Parker back there mowing, or you know, the Amish buggies coming by. But anyway, look at here. Looks really good. I mowed it down. This is the strawberry bed that we're gonna try to save. We got a lot to do to clean that up, pull some weeds out of it, pull the dead stuff out, probably replant some of the runners. But all of this cleaned up really nicely. Actually, that's some really good topsoil. So we're hoping that maybe we can either build the greenhouse right here or rebuild raised beds right here and reutilize some of that good soil. There's a lot of worms and beetles and other stuff too, but when you start talking about the aphids and squash bugs and stink bugs and everything else that I saw, and then some of these weeds that I pulled out were just covered in eggs. So that does have me a little concerned, which just means it's pretty good that we're kind of pulling all this out, redoing it, and starting fresh again. Go look over at the raised beds.
What raised beds?
Yeah.
Dang.
Does that look better?
Yeah, wow. They're gone. Huh.
Yep.
That looks weird.
Huh?
I said it looks weird.
It does look weird. Looks a lot better though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than what was there before.
I saved the cattle panel. I've saved some of our stakes, but that wood was completely done. It was rotted through.
Yeah.
So we would have had to replace it anyway, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I was saying, a lot of good soil over here, except I'm afraid about all those vine borer insects that were down in that soil. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they're eating it. But if we do end up putting a greenhouse there,
Yeah,
you know, we've got something good to start with anyway.
that's true. And I think over the next few days, the chickens are really going to love that spot too.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Just wanted to show you.
All right, looks good.
This video, I've been, ooh, something got me. Hold on, Matt. What was that? Anyway,